Hey. Have you ever felt that unease, like something's off but you can't quite name it? Like you're in a familiar room, the light seems normal, the air smells the same, but something subtle is wrong. That was me for months, watching her from across the kitchen island while she scrolled on her phone or laughed at some call. She swore it was just a coworker from the West Coast office. I used to think love meant trusting without overthinking, just giving your heart and word freely. That's how I was raised. But I've learned some people treat love like a vending machine. They take what they want until it's empty, then walk away like nothing ever existed. It didn't start with a clear warning. It began with quiet shifts, less eye contact, fewer goodnight kisses. Then came the unfamiliar perfume, the lingerie she never wore for me, the hushed conversations behind closed doors. She said it was late calls with the L branch, and I wanted so badly to believe her. We'd been married 10 years. Not every year easy, but I thought we were solid. We built a life together. One bedroom, a fixer-upper, then the lake house she called peace. I worked long hours to get us there. Started a tiny coding business in the basement, grew it into a software licensing company, sold the first version while we were still living on ramen. She was there then, or maybe she was just waiting to see how far I'd go. I remember one night in December at her company's holiday party. A ballroom full of silverware and crystal. She wore an emerald dress that made half the room stare, the other half whisper. I felt proud just standing beside her. I saw her laughing, head tilted, eyes sparkling, then noticed her hand on his shoulder. Just for a moment. Too familiar. I asked her about it on the ride home. She laughed. Not the warm laugh she once reserved for me, but a sharp, empty sound. You're jealous of Greg. You've met him twice. He's harmless. I nodded, but something inside recoiled. Like touching a pan you thought was cold. The next day I started journaling. Not what she did, but how I felt. Confused, shrinking, unseen. I told myself maybe it was my imagination. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was drifting. But then I found it. A small white USB-C charger I didn't own under the couch. I asked her if it was hers. She blinked like she needed to reboot her face. Probably yours, or from the office. He nodded. My office uses lightning. That's when I began watching more closely. Not invasively, just noting. Her location sharing was still on. One night she said she was having drinks downtown with coworkers. Her phone showed a residential street 20 minutes in the opposite direction. I screenshotted it, didn't say anything. I started a folder, Hollow Tree. A silly name from a story we made up when we were dating, now a graveyard for the truths I couldn't speak. Then the video appeared. A forgotten cloud backup from syncing our phones years ago. Her iPad auto-uploaded a short clip. 12 seconds. The camera was blurry, angled from a desk. Looked like a hotel room. He entered first, shirtless. She followed, laughing, wine in hand, kissing him like I didn't exist. I watched once, then again, then ran to the sink and emptied my stomach. Heartbreak takes form when you see it, hear it, feel it. Your love alive in someone else's arms. I didn't confront her immediately. Waited. Pain cooled into clarity. I copied the video, uploaded it to a secure drive, sent one to my lawyer. Then I began acting normal. Cleaned, cooked, planned a weekend away. Something she used to beg for when we couldn't afford to travel. She said yes too quickly. Hollow smile. Didn't ask about work, didn't ask about me. Just scrolled. Then one night it all came to a head. I told her, I know. She looked up from her phone like I'd announced the weather. Know what? About you and Greg. She blinked, then laughed. Not soft, not nervous, but as if I'd told a knock-knock joke. Oh my God, you're serious. You actually think something's happening. I didn't flinch. I reached into my pocket. That's when the air shifted. I wouldn't joke about this, I said quietly, pressing play. Her laughter stopped mid-breath. Eyes fixed on the screen, the 12-second rectangle holding truth. The sound low but clear, her laugh, the sheets, the clink of glass. No amplification needed. Her breath caught. For a moment she looked 12 years younger. Not innocent, just exposed. Like someone pulled back the curtain on a play she thought no one was watching. She froze. I said nothing, let silence hang. That was the first honest moment in months. She looked at me, really looked, seeing me clearly after so long. Lips parted, searching for the perfect defense. The right words. Nothing came. I took the phone back, locked it, slid it into my pocket like a sealed confession. You said you were in New York that night, I said. My voice didn't tremble, not because I was calm but because I felt empty. You can't shake what's already hollow. You called from the hotel lobby, claiming your meeting ran late. She blinked slowly, like time itself was trying to reset. That was a mistake. You lied, I said. And not just lied, you smiled while doing it. She hung up and walked back to him, wine in hand, laughing like it was a celebration. Tears formed, and I hated myself because part of me still wanted to comfort her. That instinct to rush in when she's in pain still twitched somewhere inside me. But I didn't move. She sat down at the edge of the couch, fingers clutching the throw blanket, but it slipped through her hands. Nothing felt solid anymore. Why didn't you say anything before? She asked. I studied her for a long moment. Because I wanted to see if you'd ever tell me. If you'd ever come clean. She covered her mouth. I never meant to hurt you, but you did. Every day you chose silence over truth. You made that choice. She closed her eyes. It wasn't just Greg. The blow hit like a punch, though part of me had known all along. How many? She didn't answer. That said everything. I never stopped loving you, she whispered. Not really. I exhaled slowly. Then you have a strange definition of love. She flinched, sharper than any video could sting. Words cut deeper sometimes. I stood needing space, needing air. She reached for my hand. Pulled away. I don't hate you, I said. I'm not angry. I'm just done. Her head fell into her hands. She cried. The raw, body-shaking sobs I'd only heard once before at her mother's funeral. But I didn't comfort her. I walked upstairs, packed a small bag. Essentials only. Passport, a few shirts, laptop, toothbrush, the framed photo of my dad and me on the dock. I paused at the bedroom door. The bed we bought after our 5th anniversary. The one we made love on, fought on, slept back-to-back on countless nights. I took a final look. Not bitter, just clear. She was still downstairs, curled on the couch, phone dark beside her. Where will you go? She whispered. I didn't lie. Somewhere quiet. She nodded, shoulders trembling. I opened the door, paused on the threshold. I loved you more than anything, I said. She looked up, and I swallowed hard. Now I'm learning to love myself again. With that, I stepped into the cool night, into the unknown. Behind me silence rang. And in that silence, I didn't hear laughter anymore. I didn't go far at first. Booked a short-term rental in a quiet neighborhood across town. The kind where people walk dogs before work, nod politely, and never ask your name. I needed that anonymity. Space where I wasn't a husband, a fool, or whatever label society gives to someone whose world slipped while he paid the mortgage. The first days I just existed. Half-eaten meals, TV left on while I slept. Silence louder than anything. No text, no footsteps, just thoughts pacing circles in my chest. Then the email came, short, no subject line, just, please come home. We can fix this. I made a mistake. I didn't reply. 3 hours later. I know you hate me, but I need to talk. I can't sleep. Can't breathe. She wasn't the only one. Took a week before I called my lawyer. Told him everything, the video, the proof, the years. We filed separation papers the next day. She hadn't formally responded, but word spread. Friends texted, some for details, some awkward condolences. A few said, we always thought something was off. That hurt most. If they saw it, why didn't I? 2 weeks later I returned to the house. Not to stay, just to collect what remained. She wasn't home. The place untouched. My coat hung on the rack. Shaving kit by the sink like I'd stepped out for groceries. In the bedroom I found a note. Saw the video again. Didn't recognize who I was in that moment. I'm sorry for becoming someone you had to stop loving. I folded it, tucked it in my jacket. Didn't need it, but kept it. Maybe as a reminder that apologies, too late, echo rather than heal. I didn't ruin her life. Didn't need to. I left truth where it belonged and let her bear it. She moved out a month later. Rumor. She transferred offices, started a new job in another city. Somewhere she wouldn't see me at the farmer's market or past our old Thai spot. As for me, I found a kind of peace. Not instant, not dramatic, but in small, steady choices. Therapy. Hiking again. Calling my brother more. Cooking meals from recipes, not microwave buttons. One afternoon, I watched the sun set over the lake. The same lake from our wedding photos. She in a white dress, barefoot, laughing on the dock. I had a cheap boot in the air, the stupidest grin on my face. Maybe we looked happy, or maybe we were just good at pretending. I don't regret loving her. I regret not loving myself enough to see when it became unsafe to stay. One day, I'll love differently. Slower, wiser, but I won't forget this. I won't forget the laughter that turned to silence. The moment the lie lost its power. Because sometimes the most honest act isn't to scream or cry. It's to show them the truth and walk away before they can rewrite the story. That silence. That's where healing begins.